Levi. Welcome back to Northern and Beyond. Great to have you back. We just chatted with you and your brother, Jesse, all about college athletics, the different PE program and business management programs that you're involved in. But I want to take this opportunity to chat one-on-one specifically about coming to Montana from the state of Washington as an out-of-state student and also as a non-traditional student. So we'll try to talk about both of those. But maybe first we start with your high school academic career and where college fit into that. Were you thinking about college when you were a junior in high school? Was it on your radar? Or were you thinking, oh, and we talked about this a little bit last episode, but I kind of want to hear, your take.
Yeah, it was a big emphasis all through high school. I mean, our high school was pretty good, I would say, overall, and across the nation. And Washington's standards pretty high, and so I was always thinking about college, whether it be military paying the way. I actually was thinking about going into the Marines for a little bit there, but college was always on the radar, and I was always thinking, oh, how cool would it be to go play college football? And so senior year rolls around, and I don't have anybody on my radar. Nobody's looking at me. I mean, Anacortes is a small town. People aren't really looking for football players from Anacortes, Washington.
Got it. Yeah.
I had to get my name out there, found a walk-on spot at College of Idaho, and then that took a year away from me, but it was also a great learning experience for what I didn't want.
Right.
And how I didn't want to start off, So.
Yeah, but you were thinking in high school, I'm definitely going to college. So that was never college or not. It was, okay, I'm definitely going. So at this point, you are freshman at College of Idaho and you're 18, 19?
Yeah.
Okay. And then College of Idaho didn't work out, and you said, I'm going to take a couple years off. What was that thought process like?
It was basically like wasting money, right? I'm over there literally not going to class, partying on the weekends, just kind of doing the college thing. And realizing that, mom probably isn't the happiest with me right now. Right. I can do a lot better and try to figure out what I really am passionate about.
Yeah, so you recognized in yourself that, well, I'm not really living up to my own expectations. But rather than saying, well, I'm going to get myself in gear, you decided, well, I'm going to take some years off. That's the decision that you made? Why did you make that decision instead of saying, I'm going to go back sophomore year and I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to study hard. I'm going to, go out less.
Well, I just felt like God kind of shut that door for me in that season of life because I didn't get a call back from the coach like, oh, what's the fall looking like for you? And then I also wasn't doing good in my classwork. So those grades were, I don't even know if I didn't even finish my math class that second semester. So it was kind of just like, defeat. Let's try something.
Sometimes you need a reboot.
Right.
It sounded like that was life's reboot for you. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And so from 20 and 21, what was going on? What were you doing?
Worked at a construction company for about a year and a half, 2 years almost. And that was just like the whole, like, paying bills and all that just really got to me and wore me down. So I started looking into a little bit more stuff that I'm passionate about. I started coaching football, so I had 2 years of high school coaching.
Nice.
And really like getting out there, putting on my cleats every day, trying to run drills with the kids. So I was really still felt it.
Having some fun,
right.
Also teaching some stuff that you've learned along the way. Oh, that's great. But it sounds like the construction gig that you had, that you knew that maybe that wasn't a career at the time.
Yeah, like when you're doing something and you're like, I'm more than this. Like this is below me. Not that that's not a great line of work, but for me at that time it's just like, no, I'm here to work with kids and work with sports and stay engaged in that field. Doing. Yeah. Totally.
Can you talk a little bit more about that construction job and what kind of work they had you doing and when you thought maybe this just isn't for me?
Yeah. So I was a garbage man for a while. Then they moved me to the landscaping. So I was landscaping with these 3 Mexican guys that were we grew a pretty close relationship, and they'd always have their mariachi music every day, which was like, oh, yep, I'm at work. Here we go.
Yeah, if you heard that today, you'd get thrown right back in time. Like, oh yeah, I'm working again with those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so when did you start applying to schools and that?
I didn't even that wasn't on my radar at all until Northern contacted me.
Okay.
So the head coach of the football team was like, are you looking to play football? I was like, I've been coaching football. Yes, please. Like, yes, get me.
Let's go. Yeah.
Get me, because I was working with a different construction company at that point. So I had cut ties with the last place and then was moving on and looking for that opportunity, and then got the call.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Got the call and then had to get the transcripts from College of Idaho. Got that figured out with admissions.
Oh, so smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing that I really enjoy about this school is like on that side of it too. They make it easy for you. It's not like I had to go out and do all these things to because transcripts are hard sometimes. If the school, you're in bad blood with the school when you left, they're like, oh, we're going to withhold it or whatever. But no, everything, I even got a bunch of my credits to transfer. So
very nice.
I was able to come in as a sophomore, which is awesome.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Didn't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
That's huge. So start as a sophomore. So this is your second year at MSU Northern.
Mm-hmm. Third, COVID. So that kind of threw everything for a loop. So third technically, but COVID really screwed stuff up.
Got it. And when you made that switch, so you were living in Washington at the time you were coaching?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you came here. So let's transition from, being the non-traditional student. And by non-traditional, I just mean you didn't come straight. Your second year
totally
here, you weren't 20, you were 23 or 24. Did you find that to be a tough adjustment? Is it easy? If someone who's 24, 25 is thinking of coming back to school, maybe they didn't finish, they had a similar experience as you, where they maybe did a year and then thought, well, I need to reboot for a couple of years. What advice would you have for that person, or how did it go for you?
I got the question all the time. What, you're 23 or, you're what?
Right.
Because I didn't feel like that. I came right in and was just part of the team and part of the, the system.
Yeah.
Just fit right in here. So that was really cool and really reassuring that I'm where I should be.
Yeah.
Right.
So just embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Totally.
And coming from out of state, any advice for someone who's, right now packing their stuff up, thinking, oh, I live in Washington and I'm going to come to MSU Northern next year. What advice do you have for them if they're coming from, kind of long distance, although if they're coming from Eastern Montana, they might be traveling the same distance, east to west or west to east?
Well, the train was pretty long, so don't take the train.
Skip the train, yep.
Because on my visit, I took the train and it ended up being 17 hours or 18 hours, which is like a whole day, and I didn't pack snacks. So that was one piece of advice.
That's a lot. There's no snack car, or you just
didn't. There's a snack car. I didn't have money.
You're
at that.
I'm just going for
broke
it.
College kid.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is be careful about taking the train because it could take a long time.
Okay.
And, it was such a smooth change for me. And they really, the finances and everything, they're always looking out for you. It's not with the WUI and everything, it's not very, it's not super expensive to go here. And I think for what you get, the bang for your buck is really awesome. You really get a great experience.
WUI, Western Undergraduate Exchange.
Yeah.
So that you took advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for folks who are listening and thinking, well, what is that? We'll put some links in the description for folks to find out more. But that's such a great opportunity. What about arriving on campus? Did you live on campus, off campus?
I was in the dorms.
In the dorms. So
yeah.
how was that experience? Are you still there? Are you doing 2 years in the dorms or what?
I went up to family housing, so
cool.
It's on campus, but it's just because me and my brother, we legit have the family housing.
That's family housing. Yeah, there you go.
So it works out, and the dorms were quite an experience.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of kids, and I was not a kid at that point. I had been an adult living on my own, so kind of taking a step back and oh, okay, now let's try to be the dad of the floor.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a big responsibility, coming in
Yeah.
and seeing that. But I'm sure it was probably entertaining as well. But yeah, you mentioned paying bills and going through that. Now you're walking back into this. But talk about your involvement on campus as well.
Well, from catering at the basketball games to running security at my first ever wrestling tournament during the they had conference
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah. Just really good experiences with some of the faculty and people that I'm now inviting to my wedding, and just like
Really
just
fun.
that whole dynamic of like they're my family,
Yeah.
like they embrace me. I've been working in the sub down like the cafeteria area for 3 years now.
It seems like if you want a job on campus, you can find a job on campus.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're good jobs, like not super difficult, and you get great people to work with.
Yeah.
And
you're also coaching. Talk a little bit about that experience, and because you're in the PE program, you clearly have a passion for coaching, and you're coaching locally here at the high school. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, basically, I mean, not coaching here, but I was coaching back home, but in my practicum, you're basically doing some coaching there with all the high school students and whatnot, and then camps and whatever else we're going to be hosting this coming fall. And there's so many opportunities because our coach is so involved in the community and really wants to get his teammate or his teams involved. So I'm pretty excited for that.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
That's great. Favorite class so far in the education program, or a favorite instructor?
Yeah, Chad Spangler.
What class is that?
He does like health and fitness, basically health enhancement classes.
And you're learning in that class what kinds of things?
Right now I'm in his sports psychology class, which is really interesting. You get to know about like coaching dynamics and player dynamics and what makes a positive environment for a team.
That sounds really interesting.
It's super interesting, and it's cool to like kind of dissect it with my team, right? And those different relationships I have. So
cool.
It's awesome.
That's really great. Well, Levi, I can tell you're definitely going to be successful in whatever path you decide to take. I'm really excited for you. It sounds like Northern has set you up to do a lot of great things, both in the here and then also in the future. So exciting stuff. Anything else that I didn't ask you that you wanted me to ask, or did we cover it pretty good?
I think we nailed it. Okay. Yeah, I think we did.
Well, good. Cool. Well, if anybody has any questions for Levi, I will definitely leave some contact instructions for the admissions team, and they can get in touch with you if that's okay with you.
Oh yeah,
about
totally.
PE program, or about football, or about moving from out of state, or non-traditional. You're sort of our go-to expert on the podcast so far about a lot of different categories.
The pressure.
So the pressure is on. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing what the future holds for you.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Northern and Beyond. If you have any questions about getting started at MSU Northern, feel free to contact our admissions office by visiting msun.edu. You can talk with guests, professors, and schedule your campus visit. We know the college search process can be complicated. We're here to provide clarity. So come visit our campus, talk with our team, and experience the remarkable programs happening on Montana's Highline.